Hello everybody, Mr. Egg here in Pattaya, Thailand. It is high season 2025-26. I hope you had a fantastic Christmas. Pattaya is busy, there's loads of people. My bar, well, we got loads of dancers, we got loads of customers, and things are going really well. And I want to take this opportunity, first of all, for saying thank you to everybody that has come to the bar over the last few weeks during high season. It's been great, and you're all probably thinking, oh, Egg's going to be looking forward to a bumper New Year's Eve. But as the title of this video suggests, I'm actually closed on New Year's Eve. Now, before you all start saying, oh, that's typical of the Egg, he's such a party pooper, he doesn't like people enjoying themselves, right? Before you say that, right, have a watch of this video, watch it to the end, and I'm going to tell you why, and maybe, just maybe, you will change your decision and not besmirch my character. But before I tell you about Pattaya, let me go back a little bit in time. Before I came to Pattaya and I've been working here as a bar manager and now own my own bar, I was a DJ, both professionally and semi-professionally in Birmingham. And New Year's Eve was one of those nights where it was always massively packed. You had to actually pay in the late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, you had to pay to get into a pub on New Year's Eve. They were selling tickets, and tickets used to sell out, and it was a massive party atmosphere, and it was great. And as a DJ, I was always booked up weeks and weeks, maybe months in advance, and I always used to get a really nice little bonus as well. But things changed around the 90s in Birmingham and in a lot of big cities around the world. A lot of the municipal governments decided that it was their duty to entertain people on New Year's Eve. And so what would happen is there would be fireworks shows, and there would also be entertainment shows for the family. And so you used to get families going into Birmingham City on New Year's Eve, and there used to be, like, the local radio station used to put on a show sponsored by the council, and there'd be, the local DJs, maybe some local artists, a soap opera star or something like that. These days it would probably be like, a YouTuber, because they think they're famous. and that was the entertainment, and they used to take basically everyone out of the pubs, and gradually people didn't used to go to the pubs. It was a nice little cash cow for the pubs and the nightclubs. Not anymore. So fast forward to 2025, and here in Pattaya, the local council, City Hall, puts on a big fireworks show, and also a kind of a sort of a mini music show as well, like a mini music festival. And it attracts a lot of people. It used to be in Bali High, which was great because you had the backdrop of the Pattaya sign, and you used to have fireworks going off at midnight behind the Pattaya sign. I'm not sure whether that still happens, but it's not in Bali High anymore. It's got so big, and also the council like a little bit of a retail opportunity, and so they sell retail space all along Beach Road, and they basically close off Beach Road on New Year's Eve, pedestrianised, which is nice, and they have lots of things going on, including music festival and fireworks, and it's usually Thai orientated music as well. Well, that's fine, but here's the first problem, right? Because they close off Beach Road, they close off all the side streets of Beach Road, and this happens about 2 or 3 in the afternoon on New Year's Eve. There is traffic chaos. There are loads and loads and loads of people that are coming in to the city, maybe from Isan, or they're coming from Bangkok to Pattaya. Pattaya is well known in Thailand, in Southeast Asia, as a party town. And so everyone's coming into town. And there's traffic chaos. There would be traffic chaos if they didn't close Beach Road, but they do close Beach Road. And so it is absolutely gridlock everywhere. And it leads to another problem. And it's 2025, and for some reason, people rely, I mean, this is a different video. People know my opinions on this. People rely a lot on the ride-sharing apps. Things like Grabman, Bolt to get everywhere. On New Year's Eve, when most people are a bit pissed and they need a taxi, it is one of the main days where it is either A, completely impossible to get a taxi and you wait for like 2 hours to get one on your ride-sharing app, or when you do get one, it's 5 times the price, and there's loads of arguments and people accuse people of ripping them off and all that, and it's just, there is traffic chaos in the city, right? One of the things that happens is the fireworks go off at midnight, there's live music, there's a band, everyone goes to see that. And so generally, the bars and the go-go bars, other than the restaurants, I would say, are pretty quiet until everyone's seen the fireworks, everyone's looked at the band, they move away and go into the bars and nightclubs. That starts about 1:30 in the morning. So it does get busy, and there is money to be made on New Year's Eve in Pattaya. But in my opinion, it's always late, and the amount of times people have been in the bar at midnight and says, well, where is everyone? Well, I'll tell you where everyone is. They're on the beach, right, watching the fireworks. People come later. It's always a little bit of an anticlimax, right? Couple that with the fact that there are a lot of Thai people coming into town. Christmas is not a big thing for Thai people, right? It is not a big thing. But New Year's Eve is. Both New Year's Eve in the Western calendar, in the Chinese calendar, and of course Songkran, which is the Thai New Year. So they celebrate New Year kind of 3 times, and it is a big thing for them. And so you've got this huge horde of Thai people coming in, and sometimes, you know, that can feel a little bit uncomfortable. I've never seen real problems, but lots of pissed up Thais, lots of pissed up Phalangs. I personally feel it's a little bit moody out there. So you've got that. Nobody really in the bar till late. Let's have a look at my bar, right? My bar opens at 3 p.m. We're a daytime bar. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to create, and that's what I have created. The bar closes at 11. So on New Year's Eve, what am I going to do? And around about September this year, I started thinking about this. Well, I could open later. So, you know, we start at 5 and end at 1 or something like that. But then, like I said, it only really starts getting going about 1 o'clock. If people want to see in the new year, so what I'd have to do is like open at 8 o'clock and then close at 3 and 4 o'clock. And it just didn't kind of make sense to me as a daytime venue when nobody really goes out in the afternoon, everyone goes out in the evening. And in the afternoon, it's total traffic chaos anyway, so nobody can really get around. So it started to think in my mind, well, maybe I'll just give it a skip, you know what I mean? Plus, I then had this idea in my bar about giving my staff, my dancers, a long contract over Christmas and New Year. I always had a problem with staff either going back home, helping with the harvest, or being with sponsors, regular customers, whatever, just being lazy and celebrating Christmas and New Year by themselves and then coming back to work afterwards. So I wanted to give them a financial incentive to come and work. And so I came up with this 15-day contract over Christmas and New Year. And I thought, a lot of girls are going to want that, but a lot of girls are going to be tired working for 15 days. I know it's 2025 and the young people are a little bit lazy. So just give them this 2-day on the 31st and again on the 1st. Let's just close the bar. Let's just close the bar for those 2 days. Give them a breather. Make sure we've got loads of girls before New Year, over Christmas when it's busy, and it has been busy and it's been successful. And then have a load in January when a lot of girls start going back home and they've seen in the new year, and then they go back home, they've made some money and regular customers and sponsors are coming. Let's have them in the bar over these days, but close for those 2 to give them a little breather. And they can go and be with their families, or the vast majority of them will either A, be with customers who don't want to pay a bar fine, or they will be on the beach with their boyfriends or husbands or whatever. I don't know. I don't really care what they're getting up to. Let's give them 2 days off. That was the reasoning that I had to close in on New Year's Eve. It was kind of a situation where I thought, well, let's just rest. Another really big thing in me thinking about this is the behaviour of people on New Year's Eve. And I can't put this any better than the Black Country comedian Frank Skinner. You might know Frank Skinner. I come from the Black Country in the West Midlands. Frank is a very famous guy. He's got his own TV show. He's got a brilliant podcast if you want to listen to that. And he is a reformed alcoholic, and he's been dry now for about 30 years. But he put it like this. When he was an alcoholic, New Year's Eve was amateur's night. He could go to the pub any night and just walk up to the bar and get a drink, no problem. But on this one day of the New Year's Eve, everybody thought they were an alcoholic, right? They had to drink so much on that one day, and he used to sort of block up the bar, and he used to his mates used to call it amateur's night. And it is true. I'm not saying I've ever seen a really massive fight in one of my bars over on New Year's Eve, but it's come close. And there are people that, you know, they're out with their mates and they're just like enjoying themselves a bit over enthusiastically. Yes, I know it's a bar. People do that, they enjoy themselves. You know, there's tomfoolery going on, if you like. That's cool, I'm cool with that. But sometimes it gets a little bit out of hand because, as Frank Skinner said, there's all these amateur alcoholics out there. Now, can I just make this very important point? Alcoholism is not a joke, it is very serious. Alcohol is an extremely addictive substance, and if you are suffering with that, then, you know, I'm very sorry, I'm not making light of it, but you get my point, right? There are people that never drink for 364 days a year, and on this one day they decide to have a drink. And so combine that with the traffic madness. You can't get a taxi, nobody really comes in till late, nobody wants to be there. The girls don't want to be there, right? The girls want to be with their other, you know, significant others. And here's another thing, one more thing that made me to this decision, and that is to do with the fact that most bars want to keep the staff, in my case the dancers, in for as long as possible, because on that day people get there late, right? We're not making money early on in the evening, in the afternoon. You're making money after 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So what you don't want to do is get to that point and all the girls have gone, they're off with regular customers or are off, you know, and they've paid the bar fine themselves or whatever. And so the bars are forced to raise the bar fine prices because they just want to try and control the girls. And let me say this, most of the time these ridiculously high bar fine prices, just believe me on this, I'm a bar owner, I know this, is to stop the staff bar fining themselves. So they go out. So you want a crew in at 2 or 3 in the morning when it gets really busy, right? And so you get a situation where you've got customers that have been in the bar all over Christmas, all over New Year, maybe all year, and all of a sudden they want to go out with their favourite member of staff and see the fireworks, and you're hitting them with a massive bar fine, and they get angry, and quite rightly so, right? Because it is really indefensible, right? People don't see your point of view on this, and I get it, right? But you have to understand that that creates arguments, it creates tensions. I've known regular customers never go back to a bar because they couldn't go and see the fireworks with their favourite member of staff. That is another reason, coupled with the crazy alcoholism, the traffic chaos, all of that. I've just decided to close, right? And this is not a decision that I've made last week, yesterday. This is a decision that I made in September when I was planning for the new year. It might surprise some people, but this myth that New Year's Eve is a big cash cow, I'm afraid, is not true. It's with the fairies. You can have a good New Year's Eve, but you've got to stay open late. You've got to annoy everybody. And I just don't want to do that. So I've given everyone the day off on the 31st. I've given everyone the day off on the 1st, because let's be honest, all the girls, all the staff are going to be out partying till 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. I don't expect them to be back in the bar at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I've given them 2 days off. So I've given them 2 days off. We get that little bit extra from the girls in January. I personally am looking forward to New Year's Eve for the first time in years. I can't wait. I'm going back to my girlfriend's farm, and we're probably going to be in bed by about 8 o'clock. But that's what we both want to do, you know. So I'm sorry if we've upset a few people. I have explained to my regular customers for the last 2 months what I'm going to do, and they all so many people have come to me and said, oh yeah, I like Christmas, I can't stand New Year's Eve. And they've gone on about the traffic chaos, the taxis, everyone's, you know, there's ultra tomfoolery going on, etc., etc. And everyone seems to be quite happy with that. So those are my reasons. The bar is closed, but tomorrow, I'm launching this video on the 29th of March, 29th of December. The 30th, we've got a big party. We've got like a fake New Year's Eve party on the 30th. So come on down on the 30th, tomorrow, it's Tuesday. Have fun, enjoy yourself. You can get a taxi home. It's not full of, you know, people having their first drink in the year. Relax and have a great time. And I get that consistency. Consistency is so important, I think, in the bar industry, right? Consistent service, you know, consistent good times. We get that consistency. It all breaks down over New Year. So I'll see you on the 30th in the bar. I hope you understand the reasons I decided to close. A lot of people have been asking me about these hoodies. I don't know if you can see. Let me try and get it there. Run hoodies. We've got about 20 left if anybody wants to buy them. I know I'm not the best model, and I'm huffing and puffing, because this is an elevated walkway, and it's going up and down, and I am 58 years old. But if you want to buy a hoodie, the hoodies are for sale in the bar. But for me, Mr. Egg, have a great New Year, right? I'll see you on the 30th, or I'll see you on the 2nd. Take care, everybody. Bye.